A very lovely good evening to all of you. I am Dr. Pooja and I run a channel on biochemistry named Biochemistry Made Easy. And it is basically for all those students who are preparing for either their MD exam, MD, MS, or MDS, or the students who are preparing for their nursing exam also. Because biochemistry is such a subject which fits in every field, whether it is nursing, whether it is pharmacy, whether it is like MBBS and BDS students, no doubt study biochemistry in first prof. So whether you are preparing for your NEET PG 2021 or whether you are preparing for your INI or you are preparing for MSc Nursing, MSc Biochemistry, this video will be very helpful to you. And I've been recording videos since last year, in fact, when the lockdown started. Now today, I have made a very small video on the inborn errors of metabolism related to the protein metabolism. Now, all of you know, whenever we talk about proteins are the polymers of the amino acids. So we have to study the amino acids and what are the inborn errors of metabolism when a particular enzyme is deficient. And this is a very important topic on which every year a question is asked. Right. So let's start off with the discussion of this topic. It is metabolic disorders of the amino acids with their biochemical defects. Now, whenever we talk about any disorder, we have to see what is the biochemical rationale behind it. Means if a reaction is being catalyzed by that enzyme, if I say A plus B gives rise to C, right? And one enzyme is there which is catalyzing this reaction. If I say this enzyme is deficient or it is absent from the body, what will happen? First is this C won't be produced. Obviously, the product which is required, it won't be produced due to the absence of the enzyme. And if that product is not produced, there will be increase in the concentration of the substrate. And this will lead to increased concentration of the substrate in the blood, which will appear in the serum, and finally it will appear in the urine. And this becomes the basis of identification of that enzyme. So this is a very, very important topic, right? So let's start up with the different metabolic disorders related to different amino acids. Now see, all of you know, proteins are the only macromolecules in our body which help in disposing of this toxic nitrogen in the form of urea. So first of all, you should know what are the disorders associated with urea cycle. Now see, hyperammonemia means increased concentration of ammonia. Type 1, which is due to the deficiency of enzyme carbamoyl phosphate synthetase 1, which happens to be a rate limiting enzyme also of urea cycle. Urea cycle, which takes place in the liver, consists of 5 steps. So hyperammonemia type 1 is due to the deficiency of CPS1. Hyperammonemia type 2 is due to the deficiency of ornithine transcarbamylase, commonly it is known as OTC. Then citrullinemia type 1 is due to the deficiency of arginosuccinate synthetase. Wherever synthetase is written, it means it involves ATP. This is again very, very important. Then another type of citrullinemia is there, which is citrullinemia type 2. Actually, citrullinemia type 2 is due to the deficiency of the transporter. This transporter, which is required for the transport of citrulline from the mitochondria to the cytosol. Because I told you first and second steps occur in the mitochondria and third, fourth and fifth occur in the cytosol, right? Then another important disorder is arginosuccinic aciduria, which is due to the deficiency of enzyme arginosuccinate lyase. This enzyme is a splitting enzyme. Right? Then arginenemia, which is due to the deficiency of enzyme arginase. Right. Now, another important feature about this is this arginase enzyme is absent in the kidney. Very important. That is why urea cycle never takes place in the kidney. Second important thing is this OTC enzyme is absent in the brain. That is why urea cycle is not operative in the brain also. And this toxic ammonia is being transported by glutamine, which handovers this toxic ammonia finally to the liver, where actually urea cycle takes place, where actually formation of urea is there. Then comes triple H syndrome or H cube. It stands for when there is deficiency of ornithine permease, because what happens is this is required for the transport of ornithine from cytoplasm to the mitochondria. Because when ornithine reaches mitochondria, this ornithine combines with what? Carbamoyl phosphate to form citrulline. And you know one very interesting feature about this triple H syndrome, it stands for hyperammonemia. Obviously, the concentration of ammonia will increase. Hyperornithinemia, because it will increase, and hyperarginenemia will increase. Right? So these are the disorders which are related to urea cycle. Very, very important. Then we come over to another amino acids like phenylketonuria, a very, very important essential amino acid. Why it is essential? Because it is required for the synthesis of tyrosine in our body. Tyrosine, which is a precursor of so many important compounds in our body. Classic phenylketonuria is caused when the phenylalanine hydroxylase enzyme is absent. L-captonuria is due to the deficiency of homogentisate oxidase. So what happens is urine turns black on exposure to air because there is formation of L-capton type of substance in urine. And this also leads to ochronosis. Very, very important again. So these are what? These are the metabolic disorders of amino acids, right? Then tyrosinemia type 1. The deficient enzyme is fumaryl acetoacetate hydrolase. Tyrosinemia type 2. The deficient enzyme is tyrosine transaminase, and it is also known as Richner-Hanhart syndrome. Then tyrosinemia type 3, which is due to the deficiency of para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate hydroxylase or dioxygenase. This is also known as neonatal tyrosinemia. Very important again. Then Hawkinson-urea. In Hawkinson-urea, what happens is this para-hydroxyphenylpyruvate is mutant, so that it catalyzes only the partial reaction, not the complete reaction. Right? Then another is Segawa syndrome, which is due to the deficiency of GTP cyclohydrolase, which is required for the conversion of phenylalanine to tyrosine. It requires tetrahydrobiopterin, and a very interesting feature about this biopterin is it is not folic acid, it is not a vitamin, and it is strictly under control of this GTP cyclohydrolase. Then comes albinism, a very common disorder which you people are all familiar with. This is due to the deficiency of enzyme tyrosinase, right? Then pheochromocytoma, which is due to the excess production of catecholamines. Again, very important. These catecholamines are synthesized from tyrosine. Or you can say tyrosine is the precursor of catecholamines, which are norepinephrine and epinephrine, and which are actually secreted during 3F, right? Epinephrine and norepinephrine. First catecholamine which is produced is norepinephrine, which is converted into epinephrine by methionine. So this is very important, formation of catecholamines. Then this is a metabolic disorder due to tyrosine. Then we come over to carcinoid syndrome. This carcinoid syndrome is due to the excess production of serotonin, whose precursor is tryptophan. Tryptophan is required for the synthesis of serotonin, which is a very potent vasoconstrictor, which helps in stimulation of the cerebral activity, which excites, and then once its function is over, it is degraded by MAO, monoamino oxidase. All the depressants, all the antidepressants which we take, they actually either are MAO activators or MAO inhibitors. So they will either prolong the action of serotonin or they will prolong the degradation of serotonin. And this serotonin is required for the synthesis of melatonin also, which is responsible for the circadian rhythms in our body, which helps in diurnal process or sleep and awake process. Then another important disorder, cystinuria. Cystinuria is actually due to defective tubular reabsorption of 4 amino acids. This is also known as COLA. There is excretion of COLA in urine, which is also known as Garrett's tetrad. There is excretion of cysteine or ornithine or lysine or arginine. So COLA is excreted in urine. Since they are 4, so it is also known as tetrad. And common it is known as cystinuria. Then comes Osthaus syndrome. Again, this is related to the sulfur-containing amino acids. And the defect is there is malabsorption of methionine and other neutral amino acids, leading to this Osthaus syndrome. After this, we come over to homocystinuria. Now, the most important, you can say, way of remembering all the disorders is homocystinuria, means there is increased concentration of homocysteine. And all of you know that homocysteine is, when we add methyl group into it, homocysteine is converted into methionine. Or there is a regeneration of methionine via homocysteine as one of the major intermediate. This classic homocystinuria is caused due to the deficiency of enzyme cystathionine beta synthase. And this enzyme requires PLP as a coenzyme. Or in other words, I can say that the subjects who are deficient of B6, they will be suffering from this classic homocystinuria. Right? And non-classic homocystinuria is when there is a defect either in the methylcobalamin formation or there is defect in methylene THFA reductase. Either of the cases, what will happen? The concentration of homocysteine will increase and there will be decreased concentration of methionine here. But there will be increased concentration of methionine in classic homocystinuria. So this is the basic borderline of differentiating between classic and non-classic. And then we come over to Canavan's disease, which is due to the deficiency of N-aspartate cyclase. Right? So these are some of the metabolic disorders related to the amino acids and the biochemical defect. Because whenever you are going to give your exam, these are the straightforward questions which are generally asked. Very important. Cystinuria due to what? Canavan's disease due to what? In my next video, I will be discussing the clinical manifestations of all these disorders, which is again very, very important. So don't forget to see my next video. And if you want to see my next video, subscribe to my channel. My channel is Biochemistry Made Easy by the name Dr. Pooja Johri. Even if you like my video, don't forget to subscribe to it and don't forget to press the bell icon. So in my next video, we will be discussing about the clinical manifestations. So wishing you all the best for your exams. I hope whatever I discussed with you was clear to all of you. Thank you so much. Take care.